All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone up popping in the side chat, and good to have Alan back with us. Sir, please start us off right.
Most certainly so.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome, awesome. How you doing, man?
I am doing about as good as I should be, I suppose. Nobody told me what to expect, but I'm doing pretty well, pretty well. Not much changing going on. I'm still just pumping hours and waiting on other results, but doing well.
Good, man. Glad you're here. Glad you are here. Jamie, what's going on, brother?
Happy Easter, everybody. I think there's a little girl wants to wave at y'all. Wave hi to them.
Hello.
All right, now scram.
I was gonna ask you something.
All right, just a minute. Big day at church today. Got a new phone I'm trying to get activated. I hope it's working now. But other than that, man, better than I deserve. Hope y'all are doing well too. And thanks for having me.
Always pleasure, man. Always pleasure. All right. Daniel, what you got going on, man?
All not too much. Happy Resurrection Day to y'all. And what do I got going on? Reloading Freedom Seeds, shooting Freedom Seeds, getting ready for my opening the spring, summer, whatever season of competition shooting. I'm not ever finishing in the top 5, but if I finish middle pack, I consider that a victory for myself. And I can't recommend to you folks any more than to get out there and shoot some of these competitions because they're fun and they're very educational. Thanks for having me on the chat tonight.
Yep, always, man, always. And it looks like it's pretty nice out there right now, isn't it?
Yeah, blue skies.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Just
that
chilling
grass
out here.
is looking a little long, though. You best get out there and take care of that.
Yeah, it's ready for a second mowing of the season. Mowing grass is the most pointless, worthless thing there ever was. I hate it.
I agree, 100%.
It's a
waste. Way back in the day, as an early teenager, I had stopped going to church because I had so many lawns on my actual lawn route as a early teenager that I needed that time to get my contracts done. And so I began teaching myself about as I was doing a lawn, as that was my church. So yeah, that was my time to be at one. So I have kind of an odd perspective on mowing lawns.
So what you're saying is you just found it time where you can sit and not have any distractions around you and things being annoying.
Yeah, and focus my thoughts. Mowing lawn, you don't really have to, think all that much at all, but use that time to reflect on God and think about God. And that was my personal church time.
So you're sitting there on the lawnmower reading, you got the Bible here, you're reading and thinking about, what's he mean about that?
Yeah, destroying sprinklers and, running over flower beds, but, you're not supposed
nothing
to.
but straight lines, right?
Right. Right. You just bungee cord the steering wheel. You'll be sort of ish straight.
Just drive with your knees, man. Drive with your knees.
I tried something similar to that, except with deer hunting. I'd take the Bible. I got a waterproof Bible, so if it gets wet, it don't matter. But I'd take my Bible out in the tree stand with me and figure, I might be scoring some good points, and maybe God would be kind to me and by having a big old buck come underneath me while I'm reading Matthew or something. But nope, that didn't work. But God has a sense of humor. One time I prayed to God, it's like, Lord, let me get a shot at the biggest buck I ever seen out here tonight. I mean, that I've ever seen on this place. And he answered my prayer. I got a shot at the biggest buck I ever seen out there in the wild. I didn't get him. I didn't hit him, but I got a shot at him. Hence, there's a time and place for everything. You understand what I'm saying on that?
Good to see you, Edward. Good to see you.
Hey, Boom. Good to see you out there, too. This is the thing, man. You praying wrong, Daniel.
That's what I'm saying. But God, I should have said, Lord, let me kill and harvest the biggest buck that you've ever put on this earth. Instead of just let me have a shot at one and miss.
Yeah, words have meaning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you try, Daniel. You sit there, you get a pot of coffee going, you smoke a cigarette.
Yeah. And it's normally about the time I put the cigarette out is when I see the bucks coming through.
Yep.
You got to use the wind.
Well, now you got turkeys out there, right?
Yeah, there's some turkeys now repopulated the place. I think I've got a hen that's nesting out here in the front yard. Going to be driving the lab crazy.
I haven't seen too many out this way yet.
Yeah, I had one turkey I seen in the field over there earlier when we was just before we came on live. But normally they'll be over in that field up in the top, and I ain't seen none of them come out there yet. I love spring.
Looks like Ann Gabriel's out there in the storming areas.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Apparently, it just veered north of us, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah, it's hit a good few places. There's been quite a few tornadoes hit the ground from what I was hearing.
There's Texas 6. It's been in Texas for a spell now.
Yeah, it hit them yesterday. Started yesterday for them.
Yeah, well, it takes a while to get out of Texas. I mean, if you've ever drove across it, it just takes a while to get out of Texas. So I guess even if you're a storm, you're going to hang out there for a while.
I can attest to that. I've driven through Texas once, and I was doing 110 going through Texas, and it still took a hot minute to get through Texas.
Yeah, we're supposed to get rain tomorrow afternoon, evening, about 7.
Boom, just the ones in my yard, and then they're edible. My yard took off pretty good with mushrooms this year, but they're not edible mushrooms.
One of my friends sent me a picture of one earlier today. I don't know if it was edible or not.
I almost thought it was too wet out here for me to actually get mushrooms. I mean, this is the first year I've really seen any. Usually it's too soaking wet. The ground always takes forever to dry. Oh, there's Tim. Just dodged one.
Now I've made possibly the most mistakes anybody can make, but I don't think I've ever kicked a mushroom across the yard. I don't understand why that would necessarily be a problem, other than you're spreading the mushrooms for next time.
Yeah, the ones I got out here, they're really small. I mean, they're smaller than a quarter.
It's a really big thing out here in Iowa, I guess. I had never actually heard about it before, and I was working at a convenience store, and we got this shipment in, and I open up this box, and it's a bunch of tie-dyed T-shirts. I turned to the manager. I'm like, "What are we doing with all these tie-dyed shirts?" And she goes, "Oh, that's the mushroom hunting uniforms." I'm like, "Well, yeah, everybody that I know that wears tie-dyes are typically looking for mushrooms to eat, but what, they just grow wild out here or what?" She goes, "No, not the kind of mushrooms you're thinking about."
Yeah, it was huge out in Oregon when I lived out in Oregon.
What, those kind of mushrooms?
Yeah. Is
Haven't
that,
found any here yet.
are those good to eat?
Oh yeah.
Are those morel?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, whoever Morel was, he must have been an old wrinkly bastard for them to name that mushroom after him.
No, and Gabriel says that he had someone come back with friends come back with 3 large paper bags full, but wouldn't say where. People are very protective of their areas when it comes to mushroom hunting.
Oh
Very
yeah,
protective.
absolutely. People are even more protective over that than their fishing spots. And they're like diehard about it. They'll be like, "Yeah, I got to go on a 3.5 hour hike just to get to my mushroom patch."
Oh yeah, yep. I've seen it before. My one buddy when I was up in Oregon, it was a good 2.5 hour hike into the spot he wanted to get to.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they call it mushroom hunting. It's kind of like mushroom searching to me, but to each their own.
Yeah, it's basically searching. You're not really hunting for them. You're searching for them.
Jamie, you know why those guys always got to take those 2 and 3 hour hikes to get to their mushroom spots?
I have no clue.
Well, it's because you might be a redneck if you know your neighbor's property better than your own. That's why it takes them so long.
Facts.
Well, Boom's got a spot on his property. There you go.
There ain't no mushrooms grow around my place. None. It's barren.
Well, where'd you get that picture of one?
Oh, that was all the neighbors.
Oh, okay.
I go over and I find him, then I send him a picture of hey, the mushrooms are coming up over here. And that way, if he wants to take his grandkid or somebody down there to pick them, he'll go on, he'll say, "Hey, thanks." I let him know where they're coming up at.
Garage guy, what's going on, man?
It's good to be here, guys. It's been a few weeks. It's been a busy weekend for me. I just got back home here a couple hours ago. I've been gone since yesterday morning and decided I just needed a little time out of town. So I hopped in the truck, went on down to Bristol, Tennessee, got me a hotel room down there, and just hung out.
Nice. Nice. Good deal, man.
I thought about going down there last week, but they had the NASCAR race last Sunday at Bristol, and that's a madhouse down there. And since they widened the straightaways down there a few years ago, it's probably the most boring race of the year anymore. So I did it this weekend.
Everything else going good?
Yeah, I can't really complain. Usually when I do my taxes, I do them online, and never had a problem. Been doing it like that for years. And then earlier this past week, I got a letter saying that the IRS did not accept my tax return, and I had to redo it all over again, and they finally accepted it. I hope that's just not a sign of things to come.
Did you find your mistake?
Jamie, I did everything exactly the same, and it went through the second time with no problem.
Did you get it done in time?
Oh yeah, since I done it the first time before the 15th, that wasn't a problem.
Okay. So didn't they used to call Bristol? Wasn't that the one they called the paperclip?
No, that was Darlington.
Darlington?
Darlington or Martinsville. It might be Darlington.
I think it's Martinsville.
Martinsville. Okay.
Yeah.
So why'd you call it paperclip?
Yeah, it's a racetrack.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was shaped like one.
Oh, I got you.
Basically 2 straightaways and a hook.
Mhm. Yeah, Martinsville's not a bad little track. I guess it's the smallest track on the of the season. I remember when all the expansion was going on, these track owners like Bruton Smith and Roush and all them was wanting NASCAR to shut down the races in these little towns and expand to the big cities. And the owners at Martinsville flat out refused to sell out. And he was like, forget that, we're keeping our own track. It's been in that same family for years. And the winner of that race gets a big old grandfather clock.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 NASCAR ain't thriving like they were at one point in time.
None of them are.
They're struggling.
No.
They've all
There-
gone downhill. Formula
there's-
One and all of that's gone downhill big time.
There's very few tracks anymore. I'll watch a race, and all the cars are basically the same anymore, and they've just gotten too strict. I was down at Bristol the night Dale Earnhardt pushed Terry Labonte sideways across the finish line. That was one hell of a race, and then they got to screwing around with the track and changed it up. And boring. I hardly watch NASCAR anymore.
I know. Well, first of all, it's hard to find it on TV. It's relegated to those sometimes channels.
Yeah.
And baseball ain't doing a whole lot of good either.
No.
They're struggling. Dad's got a point, but I want to see them build those cars that they can race on Sunday and you can go buy them on Monday. That's when NASCAR was NASCAR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let the drivers do what the drivers want to do. Put it back to what it used to be. Same thing with Formula One and all that. Way too many restrictions and changes and all the BS.
That's something I never could get into was Formula One or IndyCar. I guess being raised here in the Appalachians, we was used to seeing the good old boys out there in the stock cars.
Yeah, going around an oval.
Right. Dirt tracks on Saturday night, maybe a couple of times a year hitting one of the big tracks.
Yeah, it's like just get out of my way or I'm going to knock you out of my way. That was,
Exactly.
Was the attraction.
Yeah.
So, like, Formula One takes some skill, man. At least it used to. You got to be able to navigate those turns pretty quick.
Well, they probably, let's see, last year I watched a race, NASCAR, in Chicago, and I thought, okay, this will be cool. They're driving through the city. I want to see what happens. Nothing happened. They hit one of the outskirts of town, and it's like one big square. And I turned the channel after about 15 minutes to watch something else. Yeah, we got a few of these drag strips around here, Babe and Dad. Elk Creek's named the one closest to me, and it's in the middle of nowhere, but that place is packed on Saturday nights during the summer.
That's one place I've never been. It's one of the speedways or anything like that. Never been to any of them.
Now, when we'd go to Myrtle Beach every year, we'd end up going down past the Darlington Raceway. And when I was stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, we'd go to Darlington every Labor Day weekend. The years I was down there, that was always a lot of fun. So Bill Elliott down there, I think he won 2 of those years that I went. That was 86 and 87.
Okay. They're calling me for supper. I'll be right back. But I got a couple of items of firearm news I want to discuss. And y'all can get started. I'll be back in just a minute. What's our thoughts on the Springfield Kuna? Have y'all seen it? Have you gotten ads about it? I know you got emails about it if you're gun people. So what are our thoughts?
And didn't they make the 357 Magnum 1911s?
Yeah. 357, 1911s. And,
No, that's Coonan. Canoon. What I'm talking about is a new firearm released by Springfield Armory called the Kuna.
Kuna. I thought you said
Oh.
Coonan. I'm sorry. I thought you said Coonan too. Okay, I got you. Misheard you.
All right. Roller delayed 9mm carbine
Yeah, I'm going back through my email, see if I can find it.
with a
I know I
break.
saw it. I know I saw it the other day.
I haven't read anything up on that particular gun, but my JP's got that roller delayed, and it's very highly controllable. So roller delayed is not a bad thing.
Well, roller delayed, but I mean they talk about the monolithic aluminum upper. Is the lower poly? I haven't been able to figure that out yet, because the lower kind of looks poly.
plastic.
But I mean, the thing comes with a flat trigger at least. It does kind of look like a nice little PDW.
Well, I'm going to hold off on my opinions until I actually see and shoot one.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find a picture of it here because I was trying to look. I was trying to look in my email, but I can't find it.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to try out that Ruger carbine in a 10 millimeter.
Okay, let's see here.
$1,050.
Okay, so it looks like it's almost using like a CZ type style magazine almost there.
Yeah, 30 round mags. And it comes with 2 mags. But what pattern mags are they? Preparatory, or however that's pronounced. To me, the lower looks poly.
Okay, so it looks like they're partnering up with manufacturers in Croatia.
Well, aren't the XDs made there as well?
Yep. So it's probably borrowed off of the CZ platform.
No, that magazine's got a curve to it.
Yep, flat trigger. Trying to get a better look at the lower here.
Well, if you go and when you look at it, you can kind of tell it looks poly. In a couple of the shots that they have right on that site there, it doesn't at all match the upper.
Yeah, if you look right here, it totally looks different.
It looks like it's got webbing and poly in it. If you go back up like 2 pictures, you can kind of see the webbing of the poly in it.
Yeah, you can see the difference right here. Big time see the difference.
You reckon that's glass filled polymer like Ruger uses?
I would
Probably.
expect it's something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably something similar. Suppressor ready.
Ambidextrous.
It looks like they got a couple different versions of it. So one with a pistol brace, one without.
Yep, looking at a buck and basically a $120. So yeah.
Yeah.
Throw a suppressor on that and a light and go home defense.
Yeah, Ozzy,
18 round speed.
was that the one that basically it looks like a magazine that you strip a round out of the magazine as you're loading the chambers? It doesn't actually load all 6 chambers at once. But it looks like a magazine that you carry around, and you literally just push the rounds out of it into the chambers.
Huh. I don't know if I like the sound of that versus an actual speed loader.
Yeah, I suspect a guy could get pretty decent at it. But yeah, the thing that I saw recently, it looked like a poly magazine, and you're literally just pushing the rounds out of this magazine into your chambers. It was a different take on it, and in all actuality, if you're carrying that around, it'll lay in your pocket flatter. I get that. Um, unlike regular revolver speed loaders. But then again, if you've got the speed loaders, I think I've seen you carry them, Scotsman, that are just it's kind of like a really firm rubber that you just almost like a stripper clip.
Yeah, you just peel them away and you drop right in. Is this what it looks? Is this it?
No, not the
looks like
one
an
that I
18
was looking at. That's interesting, though.
I just came
No, I
across
haven't
this.
seen that.
Huh.
I just typed in 18 round speed loader and this popped up.
Hey, Scotsman, can you show where it says the C compatible revolvers list? Can you flip that list up?
Well, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Arms Core M206, M200, Charter Arms, Chiappa, a bunch of Dan Wessons, bunch of Smith & Wessons, and a bunch of Taurus.
Yeah. Huh.
GP 100, Model 66, Model 82. Yeah.
So let's scroll through the pictures here
Is
and
that
kind of
a
see.
speed loader in your pocket, or you just happy to see me?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's nice.
That's pretty.
Oh,
That's
see
pretty
those
slick.
out on the competition range here.
That's pretty slick right there.
I gotta have a couple of those.
Yeah, price wasn't too bad either.
I mean, it's probably going to be a good size in your pocket, like Alan said. You know, are you happy to see me or what?
Jamie, they let you use those in what do they call it? Jamie does a cowboy action. Oh, he's eating dinner.
Cowboy action shooting is single actions, so they would be irrelevant.
Oh, so your cylinder doesn't pivot out.
Well, I think for shits and giggles, we'll maybe pick one up and take a look at it. See if it's what it says it is. See if it does what it says on the tin. It's only $25. Why not, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is 6 talking about over there? 6-inch barrel. Got a price. Let me back up.
Oh, that was that carbine. The
He was
Kuna.
talking about that PCC.
Kuna. That thing's only got a 6-inch barrel. Dang, man.
Yeah, 6-inch barrel, half 28 threads.
Okay, I don't want to poke the bear, but I kind of do. So, Scotsman, are you still an Aero Precision fan after you've seen the spring release of the builder kits?
I've never been a huge fan of their builder kits because their builder kit prices are through the roof.
Yeah, they're kind of insane.
But I do love Aero Precision in general because they do make a lot of quality stuff, and their builder kits are really a ripoff. They're way too pricey for what they are. But if you just go individually and buy parts and pieces, and usually you can either get them on Aero Precision under under scratch and dent, which they don't really have. Everyone that I've ever bought that was supposedly scratched and dented didn't have anything wrong with it. And you'll save a ton of money that way. Or you can go on places like AR-15 discounts and a few other ones out there, and they always have sales going on. But their quality is pretty much unmatched when it comes to pairing stuff up and building a quality rifle if you're going to build your own.
I'd have to agree with that. I was wondering if you'd seen the release.
Yeah, I saw that email, and I saw the prices on them. Like, this is just ridiculous. They do this all the time. So they come out with these fancy colors, fancy designs, Daniel, if you're not familiar with it, and they basically charge like $600-700, and it's just stupid for an upper, lower, and a handguard. It's just stupid.
This one is just basically a old style military Woodlands camo, but they had to put that particular name on it to tick the Scotsman off.
I mean, don't get me wrong, some of their designs are good, but they're just way overpriced. Hell, in all honesty, buy yourself a generic freaking black one and paint it your dang self. It's not that hard to do. Brownells has the Alumahide. CB Brandon CB82. He's done videos on that before, and a few other folks have. And I painted the one handguard before with that, and it works fantastic. And it's not expensive either. I mean, as far as spray paint goes, it's a little bit up there, but it's not that bad considering. Because it's designed to withstand high heat and all the rest of it. So, I think it was like $14 a can or something like that. But yeah, make your own. Rob, what's going on, man?
Not too much. I was just thinking $14 a can really isn't that bad. Like if you consider getting color match auto paint or something like that. Because they usually got a limit. Like if they're even going to put it in a can, you got to buy like 2 to 4 cans, and they can be, $20 a can, sometimes even more depending on the paint choices. So yeah, I guess you're talking like the dollar store paint, or spray painting a birdhouse or something like that. Then it's probably a little pricey on. But even Rust-Oleum nowadays, like can of Rust-Oleum's not really cheap either. You want to try to paint metal.
Rust-Oleum's running what, $8-9 a can?
It's getting up there, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm doing all right. Got set up. I think Bald put a freaking hit on me. So hasn't quite worked yet, but did that video after the argument there. Next thing you know, I got a dentist appointment. I get there, the guy looks like Bald, has an accent like Bald. He wasn't Bald, but I think he called in a favor or some shit. Supposed to mess with a cavity. Dude grinds out like half my tooth, just like wads up some shit, throws it in there. And now my tooth is like horrible, man. Horrible. Pain all day, hot, cold, sensitive. It didn't even hurt before. Like, I'm pretty sure it was Bald's doing. I mean, this is bullshit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna call him tomorrow. And if they can't get me right in, this son of a bitch is coming out. Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. A shot of whiskey and a pair of pliers.
Yeah, I've had to do one before where I had to use a marble and an eraser to get it to burst so you can pull the pieces out. It was pretty rough, but hopefully hopefully they can get me in pretty quick tomorrow, or at least by Tuesday. So, because I'm not trying to get stuck with this. So, thanks a lot, Bald. That's all I'm saying. Because what are the odds? What are the odds? That's all I
Dude,
can say.
that's hilarious.
He probably called some of his KGB friends in there.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
He probably called someone and they got rid of the regular dentist and substituted him.
Well, that's the funny part. The regular dentist was a girl. Like,
Oh,
so I don't know what the hell is going on in
Well,
here.
see,
Like,
they kidnapped her, dude.
something,
she's probably in
man.
Scotsman's closet.
I don't have a closet.
Yeah, root canal will probably be next. Like, that's what I'm hearing. Like, probably an exposed nerve or something like that, which pisses me off because, like I said, it didn't even hurt before. It was just part of the crown on the back molar, like a quarter of it, like broke or whatever. So it was annoying, but it's been so long waiting for the appointment and all this, you get used to it. And you go in there, got some weird guy that damn near killed me. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Sounds like you should lawyer up, man.
Something.
You're gonna get charged up the rear for all the other stuff they're gonna have to do to fix it now.
Rob, just look at this. Just be thankful that you weren't going in for a colonostomy. It could have been worse.
Oh man.
Or a knee replacement or something along those lines,
Yeah. Well, this is bullshit. I don't. He went too far with this.
At any time during the appointment, did he refer to you as comrade?
No, but I think he did say something like 1022 is king. I don't know. It was hard to understand.
Hey, you're just lucky you didn't walk out there transgender.
Yeah, right. I had to check to make sure I had all my organs.
Oh, where is Bald? He's avoiding you now.
It's something, man. I don't know. He might not want to incriminate himself.
It's probably his brother.
Yeah, I think they're all refer to each other as brother. Yeah. In the KGB.
I mean, it looked like him, sounded like him. I mean, you never know.
Well,
So, yep, Easter dinner almost killed me, but it was good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed something decent for dinner tonight.
Will you have a salad?
Actually, no. Obvious. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's obvious, but ham. Some of the best, or probably the best, homemade baked mac and cheese in the world, and mixed vegetables. So it wasn't all that, but yeah, it was good.
There you go.
But chewing ham almost killed me. Almost killed me.
No, the dentist almost killed you.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, I guess you're right, but ham's it's not like you're, chewing down a piece of beef jerky or something. I mean, what the hell's going on? This is horrible. Damn that guy.
Have you tried to talk to Bald?
No, but well, actually, I was going to say, I'm thinking I should before I go back to the dentist, but if I go back and it's that same dude instead of the normal girl, then I'm just walking out. I'll deal with it myself or find another dentist.
Yeah, definitely sounds like you got a little bit of a problem there. Now, garage guy, you picked anything new up?
Yeah, I got a couple of 1911s here this past month, and by the end of the week, I'll have another one. I've been on a really big tea sauce kick here lately, and I picked up one model. It's commander size called the Tanker in 45. Picked up a 9mm version commander size called the Tank Commander. And then I got one that's coming. It's the full sized. It's the service enhanced. T-Sauce has got a special going on with buds. And this is the only place you can get this version. It's real nice, gray and black. Looks really good. And I've yet to have any problem with any T-Sauce 1911s.
Nice. Good deal, man. Not like some of the tourists you've had lately.
Oh shit, man! Don't even remind me. But I picked up a Taurus Chamberton 327 Federal Magnum here a couple of months ago. I got to blame Mark Thomas for that one after seeing his video. And that thing works really well. That 32 H&R Magnum round, that's a lot of fun to shoot.
Yeah. No, I like 327 Federal. It's a good cartridge.
Yeah. But I could only find one box of 327 around here, and it was $48. And I'm like, nope, I'll stick with the H&R rounds.
Whew. Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. I remember, well, let's see, before this last ammo shortage, I guess it was back in 2012 after that Sandy Hook shooting, all the ammo disappeared. And then the day after Trump got elected the first time, all the handgun ammo just suddenly reappeared out of thin air, seemed to. You could go to Wally World or wherever and get it dirt cheap. I stocked up. And I still got 357 Magnum and a lot of other rounds back here locked up that I bought back in around 2016, 2017. Every time I went into Wally World, it didn't matter what I was going there for, paper plates or 2 liter of pop. I'd always go back to the sporting goods section and I'd get 5 or 6 boxes of ammo, different calibers. And I'm glad I did. I really learned from that first ammo shortage. So the last one we had wasn't too bad.
No, that's good, man. No, that's good. You did it the right way for sure. It's definitely pricey for a lot of different calibers right now.
Yeah. 357 SIG. The last box I've seen of it locally was 50 rounds for $67. I told them to keep it.
You are into hand loading now, aren't you?
Well, I got done paying the taxes. I want to build up a little fund where I can, get out and buy some good equipment. I don't want to start out with the cheapo crap.
Yeah, you don't save money, but you do a whole lot more shooting for the money.
Yeah. A lot of people, when they start out, they'll start out thinking budget minded. And I'm thinking, well, I've heard enough here from, you guys here and other reloaders on YouTube. If you're going to do some serious reloading, you need some good equipment to do it with.
You do, but you can always start out, with as much as I'm not a big fan of Lee as a company and how they act to some of their customers. Their turret press is still probably one of the best budget presses out there.
Yeah. I figure I'd start out 38 Special, 357 Magnum, and then go on from there.
And
Yeah,
in
good
regards to, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's a good place to start. I mean, and if you wanted to go a little bit higher end, you could get on the budget end of a Dillon and get like a 450 or a Square Deal B or something like that.
Yeah. There was a guy here at the end of last year. It passed away. He was local, and I don't know how many firearms and how much reloading equipment that his family put up for sale. But one fella come in from out of state, bought all the reloading equipment, and he ended up having to rent one of those cube vans to haul it all in. That was just the reloading equipment alone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's some people out there that have an absolute buttload.
Yeah, and the brass, my God, he had calibers I'd never heard of in brass.
Dude, I can tell you, like when I went out for C-Max's funeral and went to help the wife with praise and stuff and going through stuff, his reloading room was insane. I mean, absolutely insane. And the amount of brass and all the rest of it was just absolutely incredible. I mean, as little as all the room was, half the room was just brass, and the other half was his benches, his dies. I mean, it was a solid setup, and he had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, another thing about this fella, he had something like about 14 or 15 Mosin and Gaunts he'd got over the years. And I think about 12 of them were Russian, and they all had what they called the hexagonal receiver on them. And I believe that's what a lot of the collectors look for.
Yep. Rob, what were you going to say?
I'll go ahead.
I was just gonna jump in, back on the whole when he was buying ammo. Yeah, it's kind of how I did it in a sense. Is always very similar. Where I'd buy a box to shoot, or a box or two to shoot, and a box to save. Like basically every time I went to the store where there was ammo, and then after so long, like you're finding ammo in your office or whatever you didn't even know you had, like that you didn't even put away from last time, and you got boxes here, boxes there, and the next thing you know, you got a shitload of ammo. And I haven't bought ammo in quite a while due to that. But the rush you guys refer to or whatnot, or slump, whatever, ammo shortage, like it hit me, I think, before that, like 2010, back when 22 was an issue, and there was ammo stuff. I can't think of the exact year, but it was way back, basically. And that's basically when I started just stocking ammo. And so for years, I would just religiously buy whatever I could, and some to shoot, some to save. And then sometimes you don't go shooting, so you'll end up throwing them more in the save, and once in a while you'll go, it might go the other way a little bit, but in the end, little by little, and I guess this probably goes with all things, throwing money in an envelope every payday, little by little, adds up. Like before you know it, you're like, what the hell am I doing with all this? Like I gotta, so
No,
it can
that
be.
was I know
be
exactly what
helpful.
year that was, because that was the year that I got into the firearms world, and that was 2011. and it was about May or June is when that really kind of took off from where it started.
Yeah, it might have been, yeah. Like, that's like the first time I ever heard of people like waiting in lines to get into a store to try to get
Oh,
ammo.
dude, we would have lines wrapped around the building, man.
It
And
was
I kid you
bad.
not, and even though we had limits on them, but people would go outside, change their clothes, and try to come back in again.
Yeah, or you get your friends, your wife, your kids, you get everybody you know to go, to come with you. Yeah.
I have a guessing game for us. Those of you that pay attention a little bit at all to ammo prices. Yesterday was nice. I ended up doing a little bit of garage sailing and came across 5 different types of 300 blackout ammo. The first type was 5 boxes of some Federal Power Shocks. Got 5 boxes of that. So start keeping up your tallies on what you think I paid. So I got 5 boxes of Federal that type. Got 2 boxes of the Winchester Deer Season XPs. I got a box of the Value Pack 50 UMCs.
Oh boy.
I got a box of the Frontiers. All this
Good
is
stuff.
300 blackout. Okay, so keep your tallies going here.
Did you say you got them at a garage sale?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Got them at a garage sale, and I got 2 boxes of 300 blackout 110 grain blacks. So 2 boxes of that, 1 box of the Frontier, 1 box of the UMC 50 count, 2 boxes of the Winchester XPs, and 5 boxes of the Federals. What's everybody's guess on what I end up paying?
So Daniel is a resident 300 blackout guy. What do you think?
Well, they probably had them all marked for $5 per box. So he would have paid if he would have paid the asking price, it would have been $50. But he probably said, here's 2 brand new 20s, and he got them for $40.
I'm guessing 50.
Yeah, I'm reckoning about $5 a box.
Yeah.
25.
It'll still call you a lucky SOB.
He's got that smirk on his face. He's got that sly smirk. You know he got a deal.
He didn't even pay full
Guilty
asking
now.
price. He just held out 2 20s.
Yeah, all I got's $10, man.
See, he doesn't have the beard to hide it anymore, so you can see that smirk perfectly.
Yeah,
I said 25.
Got no comment in the side chat. So we've got 25, we got 40, we got 50, and Daniel is spot on. I held out 2 $20 bills and walked away with the batch.
Now those usually go for $30 to $40 a box of 20.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of it I think was a little bit, the guy had been sitting on them for a little while. For instance, the Frontier. Okay. It's Frontier cartridges. But the price tag on that, $14 for that military grade, but hey, American made. But I mean, just a smidge under retail. And I was like, yeah, here you go. I wasn't going to tell the guy that I was willing to pull another 20 out, even if he was going to fight with me. He's just like, all right. Snatched
That's
it
a heck
up.
of a deal right there, man.
Just
After you shoot it, send me the brass.
all the 300 blackout he had sitting on his table.
It's rare, but sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah.
No, that's it, man. I tell people all the time, if you see a local gun show, go to these small local shows, dude. You'll find all kinds of deals.
At gun shows, I've always seen them overpriced.
Yeah, I'd agree.
All depends what you're
Garage
looking.
sale or something, that's where it's at. Because half the time people don't even know what they have. They don't care. They just want to get rid of it. So,
All depends what you're looking at. And I'm talking like the small shows, not the big shows. You go to the smaller shows, you'll find all kinds of stuff, presses, and you name it.
Yeah, this guy obviously was a reloader. He had tons of stuff that he loaded himself and everything else. And it's not necessarily that I'm opposed to it, but I don't know if you had been a fifth into the bourbon and double loaded one by circumstance or anything like that. I'm like, what do you got for factory? And he's like, well, I got some factory stuff over here, but it's 300 blackout. Like, yeah, well, that don't hurt my feeling none.
Nice, man. No, that's a good deal. We're just over halfway. You want to go through the side chat?
Well, that is if I still have the window pulled up, because dang, YouTube's just not helping us out, brother. Not helping us out. The YouTube participants list says that only Scotsman's out there, but Bama Dad and Tread have been out there. Ozzy Osbourne and Texas 6. MCK had been out there, and fuck you, YouTube has been out there, and Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy and Tim S. Yeah,
Mike
had
Gabe.
M. Gabriel. I know Edward Petty jumped in just for a minute. He was had some family over. I know people are still doing their Easter evening thing going on too. So,
no, appreciate everyone out there hanging
minute.
out with us.
There's, even on Easter evening, they actually did. They did come and join us. The YouTube auditor came to join us. Go eat a bowl of dicks.
So did you guys do anything for Easter?
Nah, not here. I just quiet day for me.
Okay. Bigger family get-togethers, make some eggs, anything like that.
Well, I slept in on rare circumstance, and then I headed over to the ex-girlfriend's house and hung out with the people that still call me family there. Ate a bunch of their food and said thanks for the free stuff and left.
You made an appearance. Yeah, I didn't do anything either. So I took my mom out yesterday, got ice cream. And then just so happens, reading today, that place got robbed last night. So thankfully it was, nobody was there or whatever. It was middle of the night. It wasn't like people rolled up with guns or something. But I guess they pulled an air conditioner out of the back window, according to the reports or whatever. And they got pictures of 3 Caucasians inside and hoodies and some weird hair cap I guess a woman would use in a shower, and I don't know. They look like a bunch of idiots that are probably already in jail at this point. So I mean,
You
kind of
gotta be an idiot to rob a damn ice cream shop
yeah,
to begin
I
with.
know. I know. Either that, or are you, man? You really got the munchies, or something's going on. Like what the hell? Something. I assume they're
Unless
probably
they,
well-known locals.
unless they were on the inside and knew a little something, something.
Oh, crazy stuff though.
Maybe it was just operating as an ice cream shop. Maybe it was something else.
I don't think so. There's a couple of them. They do ice cream and like barbecue chicken. It's one of them places you drive by on the highway, and
Innocent looking ice cream shop.
you gotta
Barbecue
coach
chicken
yourself
and
not to
ice
stop.
cream.
Man, it smells good. It's good. The place is good. Popular too. I guess it could be a good cover, but I doubt it. And these guys don't look like professional, anything. So I don't know.
Well, you don't have your main guys out front. You have someone else out front. You got to make it look the part.
You never know.
I just can't get over the whole barbecue and ice cream thing at the same place.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd combination.
It honestly, I think, works well. Shit, they've gotten me. I go there, get the half chicken dinner, which is never enough, but the cost of it, you make it enough usually. But it's good, man. It's good. Like if I'm working in the area, because one's a few towns away, so. But I work out that way a lot. And in the summer, you drive down the highway, and it's all you can smell because it's right off the highway. And if you're not disciplined, you may find yourself stopping by there a couple times a week. But also they do ice cream, soft serve, all that type of stuff. I got like what do they call it? Upside down split. Basically, I got a banana split in a giant ass cup, so that way easier to maneuver, I guess, if I end up driving. So but yeah, pretty good, man. I got that. Let's see, the lady got like some other kind of sundae deal. My mom got like a large double cone. The thing was so big they had to throw it in a dish with the cone on top. $21 for ice cream.
So you said the half chicken wasn't enough. So why don't you get a full chicken?
Because then it's like $25. So I mean, yeah, it's a little steep for like lunch or something.
You're being on the cheap side again. I got it.
Yeah, I'm on the cheap side. Yeah, everybody gets the half with you get your choice of sides. They always throw a biscuit in there, butter. Usually I get like the baked beans, and they'll do like macaroni salad or potato salad or
man,
vegetables.
You're a baked bean guy, huh?
Oh man, the beans are good. Like I don't know, baked beans are good. So yeah, beware, I guess. But if there's beans being served, I'll eat them.
Yeah, absolutely fucking disgusting.
I agree totally.
You guys just don't know.
Oh, I do.
No, trust me, I do. Considering I grew up in
like lima beans, man.
Considering I grew up in a country where they're prevalent, yeah, trust me, I do know, and they're absolutely fucking disgusting.
I'll eat green beans. That's it. That's the closest thing to a bean I'm getting, and it's totally not.
Green beans are great, even as just like a snack instead of chips. Bag of green beans. Oh my god, they're good.
Jamie, you don't eat baked beans? I'm shocked.
You putting my feet to the fire, Daniel. When my wife makes baked beans, I'll eat baked beans. That's the only time.
That's only because he doesn't want to get hung outside.
What about the refried baked beans. What about those?
Refried at the Mexican restaurants.
Well, no, like you can make them at home. I mean, I guess maybe similar. I don't know. I'm always thinking of the ones you make at home. Come in a can
Refried.
with like a black lady and a big pan of beans. I don't know what the hell the name is. I know by looking at the can.
I don't do any kind of beans, man.
Oh,
Those are good, bro. Those are good.
You gotta have some chili beans during the wintertime.
pork and beans. Love them.
No
Gotta
way.
have it. Beanies and weenies. It's Ohio's staple.
Ain't doing that, man. I spent too many hours as a kid. You're not getting up from the table till you clean that plate.
Jamie knows.
I'll be here till morning when y'all bring breakfast.
Dude, I'd sit at the table and
Oh,
wait.
no, that dinner last night is your breakfast.
I'd wait and wait and wait, and then my brother would finally show up and be like, "You're not gonna eat that, are you?" I'm like, "Nope." And then he would eat it, and then I could leave the table.
Jamie, when I was a little kid, my parents told me I wasn't allowed to get up until I cleaned my plate. Well, I cleaned my plate, and then my dad says, "Let me see your plate." And he seen where I slid it off into the garbage. He lit me up.
Yeah, where we ate dinner, you couldn't get to the kitchen without him knowing.
Right. And another thing my grandmother used to say is, there's little kids in China starving to death. I thought, well, they can have my beans.
Oh, you got China. I think I got Africa.
Yeah, that too.
Send them things to Sally Struthers.
Yeah, peas either, Bama Dad. I ain't doing none of that mess.
I'll eat all that. Thing I don't like is beets. That's like one of the only things like that I just don't have a taste for. I could eat them if I had to, if my mom made them or something, but I would not enjoy it. So
If my mom made them, just to keep from breaking mom's heart. Yeah.
that's about it. Yeah.
Pickle
Y'all be
Yeah,
talking about
I
y'all be
couldn't
talking
even do
about
that, man.
peas and beans like they're the most horrible thing under the sun. But I'll eat beans. You mix it with pork. You put bacon and baked beans. I'll eat the hell out of them things. And peas, you make a pea salad with bacon in it. I'll eat the hell out of that too. I guess I just
Pea soup. Oh man, that's
I'll
good
eat
stuff.
about anything though.
Oh.
So
You get some good old pork and beans. You get some brown sugar, put some ketchup in there, dice up an onion, throw pieces of bacon on it, throw it in the oven. Good stuff.
That's a waste of good bacon. That's what that is.
Oh no, that's good.
You can almost do the same with pea soup with either ham, bacon. Obviously the same types of things, different forms. But throw that in pea soup. Throw some pepper on the top of it. Like that stuff. You could like plaster a wall with that. Like it's almost bulletproof. It'll fill you.
And that's a waste of good pork, a waste of good bacon, all of that, man. That's just horrible. Why would you do that?
It's good stuff, man.
No, that's disgusting, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, add some potato salad on the side. Gotta have some biscuits. Oh yeah.
No, honestly, I get it, man. I grew up poor too, brother. But if there was something I couldn't eat, I wouldn't eat it, man. I'd wait till my brother come in. My brother would eat it.
no, most of the time growing up, we ate our first plate just as fast as you possibly could because the person that got to their plate clean first was the first one that got seconds. And so a lot of times I didn't know what the hell I ate until it came to getting seconds. And then that's when I actually looked at it and tried to figure out what it was. And if I wanted seconds at that point, the first plate, no, you just sucked that down. It didn't matter what it was, because if you didn't eat that fast, then you weren't getting seconds.
I'll tell you, the only time I didn't really care what I ate was when I was on the farm and had been on the farm working out on the fields all day. And then you get done after a 12, 14-hour day and you walk in the door. You don't care, man. It's a hot meal. That's all you care about, is it's a hot meal.
I ate whatever my dad made, and if I knew he was making something I didn't want to eat, I'd just tell him I was going to eat at a friend's house. And then sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't, but I'd never not eat what he gave me. You know, I don't know. It's one of them things.
All right, Bama Dad, you got me there. That's one thing. I have never been able to do liver. I just can't stand liver.
Nope.
Have you tried
I
it? You
don't.
tried it?
I have tried it numerous different
Okay.
times. I've tried beef liver. I've tried all kinds of different livers. And I don't know if it's a mental block and I just can't get around the fact that you're eating a damn filter or what, but I just can't do liver.
It's good for you, man.
I
You
think
probably just haven't had it cooked right. That's all it is.
Well,
So
it's,
wait,
it's
you
a
won't eat
unique
baked beans,
taste.
but you'll eat liver.
Liver,
is supposed to-
kidneys, heart.
It's a unique taste or acquired taste, maybe. It's it's distinctive liver, but it isn't that bad. I mean, if you do it, seasonings like
Organs are great for
onion,
you, man.
mushrooms, like throw it all together like that. I think it's decent. So, but I understand a lot of people not eating it. What about like chicken gizzards? Like,
I
you
don't do
guys ever had those
I don't do
fried and
gizzards.
stuff?
I don't do that, but I'll do almost any organ. Heart, lungs, liver, all that stuff's good for you.
Haggis.
Or turkey gizzards or whatever. I mean, or whatever. I don't know, whatever. And then the heart and the turkey, when you get that for Thanksgiving, you guys like take that or at least save it for your dogs or something, or you just throw it away.
Oh, my dogs eat everything, man.
The best way, if you want to eat organs and you don't want to just cook the organ and eat it the way it is grind it up and mix it with your beef. It'll mix right in. The flavor change will be bare minimal, and as long as you salt and pepper it correctly, you'll be absolutely fine, and you won't even notice the difference.
A lot of grocery
It's so
stores
much
just
better
do that.
for you to have organs. Eating organs is good for you, man.
Man, every time I've tried to eat liver, it's just the more I chew it, the bigger it gets, and it won't go down. I gotta find somewhere to spit that mess. There was a place close to where I lived at the time, and my father-in-law and my sister-in-law would go once a week. They'd go have liver and onions, collard greens, and cornbread. And I'm like, gag a maggot, man. Collard greens are terrible too.
Yeah, I'm messing with those, man.
I mean, as far as the liver goes, man, I'll just take some salt and cook it straight up, dude. That's it. Good.
I've been invited a lot of places where they're making collard greens, oxtail. Like, there's a lot of stuff people eat that I'm just not messing with, man. I guess I don't know. I'm not black enough or something. I don't know, man. But I'm just not messing with that stuff.
All right. Looks like Daniel's got a bounce.
Yeah.
You got anything before you go, buddy?
Oh, not too much. Hope everybody has a good week and stays away from that wild weather that seems a lot of folks are having. But thanks for having me on, guys. It's been nice talking to you and seeing you.
Appreciate you. Always good to see you,
Daniel.
brother.
All right. Good night.
Have a great week.
Take it easy.
Yeah,
I'm like collard greens.
collard greens can be done really well, and they can be really shitty. There was when I was driving all over the country, there was a place down the street and around the corner from our facility in Los Angeles. It was a barbecue joint, and they had the best collard greens. I would particularly go exactly to that place every single time I had the opportunities for the collard greens. And there was places where you would just like, you'd get the collard greens and be like, what the hell is this? This stinks. You didn't even want to come close to it, more or less ingest it. Collard greens can be done really good or really bad. There's like no between.
What about those like chitlin things where it's organs fried, or not organs, intestines fried? That's initially what I thought you were talking about with the collard greens, but you guys eat that shit? I ain't eating that.
I've been in a house where they were cooking them, and I told them I'd be back when they got done with that mess.
Did you eat any, Jamie?
No,
Yeah, I ain't eating that either,
all right,
man.
you have to cook them twice. Listen to me, Rob. You have to cook them twice. Once is called the parboil, and they're still full at that point, if you understand.
Oh.
So you boil them to loosen them up and separate them. Then you take them outside and you sling them. You're literally slinging the crap out of them.
Oh, God.
Put a hose on one end and flush them out. And then you cut them up in little 1/4 to 1/2 inch sections and batter them and fry
them. No.
I just got one thing to ask Mama Dad. How you know what a cow's ass tastes like?
That's an excellent question there. Man, you just said you know what it tastes like, and then you turn around saying you ain't no poop shoot. I'm pretty sure you ain't poop shoot if you know what it tastes like.
No, man, you don't have. All you got to do is be not even in the house. I'm talking about in the neighborhood when a family is parboiling those chitlins. Dude, just run.
Oh, man.
Just run.
I can respect, like, you're in the woods, you're providing, you're living off your own means or whatever, trying to use all of the animal, but just to go out and buy that shit for a cookout or something, oh no. And honestly, like, I think I'd use that to feed my other animals or something before I'd use it to feed myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even feed that to animals.
I'm telling you, man, it's hard. It's absolutely nightmarish.
There's Radbird. Good to see you. Hope you're doing all right, sister.
Yeah, they sell them frozen now at the grocery stores.
So it don't stink out the store? Or are they already washed and flushed?
I hope they're already washed and flushed, but I said all you have to do is open the package.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the wolves like that kind of stuff, but
I'll eat all kinds of organs, but there ain't no way in hell I'm eating that crap. I've smelled what it tastes like. I've smelled what it is when it's cooking before, and it does not smell good. Like Jamie says, you can smell that a mile away.
yeah.
That house, whatever house it's in, is going to be stinking for a freaking week, if not 2.
No. The next Friday when I went over there to that same place, that same house, they were having a fish fry, and it was actually good. That's where I learned my trick about Oh man.
Redbird's been here all night, pissed her pants, listening to talk about shit.
That's where I learned my trick about hush puppies. Basically, it's cornbread with chopped up onions in it, and if you use a beer instead of with some buttermilk, they just puff up big time when you drop them in that hot oil, that hot grease. So you want light and fluffy hush puppies, put you about half a beer in there.
All that good active yeast, boom, just hits like that.
Yeah. You know, apparently some people don't know about chitlins. Apparently Rob didn't. Apparently Redbird didn't.
I know enough that I don't want to stay for dinner.
Like I said, I smelled them once. I don't remember when it was, but I have smelled them cooking before, and it was bad.
Well, what you would imagine they smell like is about what they smell like.
I mean, people think cooking liver is bad. Honestly, liver doesn't smell that bad.
No, I take the liver probably any day over any of that other, some of that other stuff. Yeah.
No, liver doesn't smell that bad. Heart doesn't smell that bad. Kidneys generally ain't too bad.
You know, heart's actually a delicacy in a lot of cultures.
I've eaten the hearts.
Oh, and
Yeah.
a lot of cultures, if you kill the animal, it's basically almost a law that you have to take the heart and eat the heart right once you kill the animal.
I don't think it tastes bad as far as the meat's concerned or anything strong or, you know, anything really, you know, disliking about it, honestly. So
No, like I said, they're all good for you. It's just some people don't like the immediate taste, like liver. Liver can be the best way I can put it is to some people it may taste kind of chalky if it's not cooked right.
maybe I would like point it to like, you know, you got a porterhouse, you got the New York strip side, and then the other small side. How it's like a really fine texture. I'd say it's something like that. That, you know, I don't know. Not too far off.
No, it just has to be cooked right. That's the big thing with liver, man. If someone overcooks a liver, it's going to be absolutely disgusting. But it honestly doesn't take that much to cook them. Doesn't take long at all.
Fry them up.
You think about a heart, though, man, particularly venison heart, is probably the densest muscle in the animal.
Yep. Yep. A little bit of butter. Use regular butter if you can get fresh butter from a farm. Get fresh butter. Or if you can't get fresh butter, get some tallow and use some tallow. Cook it up in that. A little bit of salt and pepper. It's gonna be fantastic.
Now, tallow is basically bone marrow, right?
It's rendered fat.
Rendered fat. Garage guy got quiet down there.
A lot of people think that. All right, look, people have been programmed for years to think that fatty stuff is bad for you. It's not bad for you. It's bad, and if you eat certain things a certain way, but in general, things like cooking with tallow, stuff like that, it's really good for you versus cooking in oils. Oils are really bad for you.
I think garage guys down there, like, if any of these guys invite me to a barbecue, I'm busy that day.
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised at Jamie not liking baked beans, being from the South.
I know. It seems kind of wrong.
I'm proud of Jamie not liking baked beans.
We got around here this place called Royal Farms, and they make some really good chicken. And I'll get 2 sides with it, macaroni and cheese and baked beans. And they had this special 10-piece dark meat, which is legs and thighs for $15 and 2 sides. My God, I got enough stuff to eat, but for 3 days right there. You can't beat the price, and it's good. They got excellent baked beans. And as far as fat being good for you, heck, that's the flavor, where the flavor of most meats come from.
That's where a lot of it is, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to the store and they look at meat and they're trying to find the nicest piece of meat, and they're ignoring all the marbling, and they're looking for that one piece of meat that doesn't have it. Dude, that's not going to be a good piece of meat.
Yeah, you gotta have some flavor to it, some taste. Now, I might knock off a little bit of the fat if it's excessive, but I will throw a steak in a skillet or whatever, or on the grill, and I'll leave the fat on it.
Yep, it's really good for you, man.
Yeah, see, Hillbilly dropped in there in the side chat. How you doing, bud?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people like chicken thighs.
Yeah.
A lot of folks say the white meat gets too dry because it's not fresh. Somebody a while back, let me see if I can find it. I think it was Bama Dad.
I think the white meat will dry out before the dark meat does, as far as chicken goes. Yeah.
Typically, yes, and that's true of turkey too. It all depends how it's cooked, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
when you bring up turkey, like making turkey sandwiches, a dark meat seems to do a better job that I've noticed. But I mean, you can kind of mix it, marble it, but the dark meat does stay easier to work with, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, it all kind of depends how it's cooked too. I know a lot of people like to fry stuff, and if you fry a chicken or you fry a turkey, something like that, the white meat is going to dry out a lot faster.
Yeah, it's got to be cooked right, and it's got to be fresh. Bama Dad, back at 820, typed in that. Do you remember back in the 70s, chicken wings were practically free? Look at them now. That's a fact, man. Super Bowl Sunday, I used to make a thing called, it was out of Martin Yin's cookbook, and it was, I think it was Szechuan chicken wings, and they were really good. They had about 3 or 4 different kinds of pepper in them. Real nice sauce. You braised them in after you got them fried and all that. It was very good. But man, nowadays it takes 2 dozen chicken wings. I mean, you got to have them 2 dozen separated, skinned, all that. And it's cost prohibitive now to cook that many chicken wings at one time.
Yeah, they act like they're gold, especially around like if you're talking around Super Bowl or something like that. They jack the prices up on them. I mean, my goodness, for the amount of meat you actually get, it's crazy. But I think even the cost of chicken has just gotten crazy. I can remember getting chicken wings cooked, like, you know, a bar would do 5-cent wing night. Like, you
Right.
don't see that. You don't see that no more. That's crazy talk now. Like, there's no way, you know, I'm paying like $15 a dozen now.
Right.
But it's amazing. So,
Or
and even chicken breasts, I can remember, like, you know, 69 cents a pound. Now they're like $3 and change a pound. It's like, what the hell? And, you know, this hasn't been that long. Like, what's going on? Chicken used to be the cheap stuff, and now it's up there. You know, depending on what you, especially if you're feeding guests or a big family. You know, trying to get some decent chicken breast for a recipe, you're paying good money now. Where it used to be
Well,
that was a
I
cheap
would
food.
say one of the biggest things that I've seen over the last couple of years, especially, um, is if you're gonna go out and try to buy meat, buy it to where you got to cut it up yourself. Don't buy pre-cut stuff. You'll get a lot cheaper if you buy and slice it up yourself. So if you want steaks, go buy you a big chuck roll and cut the chuck roll up and cut your own steaks out of it. You're gonna do a
or
lot better off, a lot cheaper versus trying to go to the store and just buy regular steaks.
or a sirloin tip or a whole pork loin or that kind
Right.
of
Yeah.
The last pork loin I bought, I think I got 24 or 26 pork loins out of it. By the time it was all said and done, pork chops when it was all cut up. So I mean, that's you get a good yield out of it.
Well, Redbird also mentioned the popularity of tailgating. That's one of the reasons a lot of the wing prices went up. Now, if you go to a college football game in Blacksburg, Virginia Tech, you'll see a few people tailgating with the wings, but the majority of them are doing turkey legs.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, turkey
Um,
legs are
Well,
expensive too. I've seen people selling those cooked to like the fair and stuff like that, and they're asking good money for those rotisserie turkey legs or fried. That's becoming a big thing.
well, they do that up in
It used to
Blacksburg
be cheap too.
at the VT games because the team's called Hokies now, but it used to be the Fighting Gobblers, and their mascot's a big, tall maroon turkey. So turkey legs is a natural fit up there. And back maybe about 10 years or so ago, you could go into most any buffet out in Vegas, and they'd have the big buffet platter turkey legs as well.
All these others talking about pork chops used to be cheap. It all depends, man. If you go buy a pork loin, buy the whole loin, you'll get it fairly cheap. I forget what I paid for the last one I got. I think it was $1.49 a pound or something like that. You'll get a lot cheaper buying the whole loin and cutting it yourself.
I bought half of one yesterday. I think it was 4.5 pounds for $1.49. Anyway, it's just under $10 for a half of one that weighed like 4.5 pounds.
Yeah, it works out pretty good. And you can, if you actually take the time and look, you'll find more local farms, organic. You know, try and buy the best meat you can buy because some of that stuff can be really bad.
Well, I live close to Berry College up here in North Georgia. And, they have beef farm out there, and they sell the beef. But boy, they think a lot of it. They really do.
Yeah, we have some Amish people live about 20 miles north of me, and they got their own farm store. And you talk about some really good dairy products as well. You know, that's usually where I try to go up to when I get the chance.
Yeah, that real butter is a thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a local farmer I work with, and I get raw milk, proper butter, the whole 9 yards. I get all that from him.
Before I forget, you guys know anything about the Ruger Security in 380?
What about it?
Has anybody got one? Has anybody shot one? It's supposed to be a light something technology with the slide that makes it similar to the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ.
Oh, the light rack.
Yeah, light rack system. There you go. Yeah.
Everything I've seen about it on YouTube or Rumble, it had favorable reviews.
Okay.
I can only attest to the regular one, and the regular one I knew they had some issues, but the new one I don't know.
I was going to say Redbird's got one. She posted up that she does and she likes it. Also, I work with a guy that is just for some oddball reason, 380 is his caliber, but to each their own. And he's bought actually a couple of them. He likes them.
Good. Cool. Good to hear. So just trying to get more information if I can, and obviously from people that have actually had hands on or whatnot. So I always trust that over some video where somebody might be getting paid to make it or something. Who knows?
Right.
Oh, here's something Scotsman will probably find funny. I guess you heard Glock's discontinuing a bunch of model pistols, especially all their 40 caliber and all their 357 SIG and all their 45 gap pistols.
Yep, I heard that. Yep.
Yeah.
I heard that was going to be in Europe. I don't know if that's going to actually affect here or not. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I heard that was mainly like all the info that came out on that. If you looked at the top or whatever, supposedly that was all like the European page. But so the US, the people are not 100% sure if they're going to actually do that.
You're going to see what's going to end up happening is you'll see a bunch of them hit the used market and they'll be well overpriced. Guarantee it.
Probably.
It will. I guarantee it. It happens anytime a company announces something like that. Doesn't matter if it's just overseas or whatever. You will literally see the used market get flooded, and they'll be so freaking high priced.
Well, aren't a lot of those calibers illegal in a lot of those European countries for civilian use?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. 357 SIG, especially. I think 45 gap is in a couple of them, I believe, but 357 SIG is the one that's mostly illegal for personal use in a lot of those countries.
I had never seen one round of 45 gap until about a month ago. I saw in a local gun shop they had a Glock 38 chambered in that, and I'm like, I've never seen one of these before. And I told the guy behind the counter, I've never even seen, a round of it. He turned around on his counter and there was about 8 boxes, and he opened one up and showed it to me. Just a shorter version of the 45 ACP.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Jamie, you said you had a couple of things gun related wise? Did you have any other ones you brought up?
I already did.
Okay.
I was wanting to talk about that Springfield cano or whatever it is, and that builder set from.
Okay, I didn't know if you had anything else.
Thinking about that 45 gap, that doesn't gap stand for a Glock automatic pistol?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what we were talking about Friday night with the Winchester 1876. They couldn't use the 4570 because of the varying cartridge overall lengths, so they created their own cartridge, a proprietary cartridge.
Yeah, the 45 gap is just a little bit longer, so they can get more capacity.
And Winchester made their own proprietary round called the 4575, so that they could make it with just one bullet weight and kind of standardize the cartridge overall length so that it would work in the gun because of that elevator system. You know, by the time that gun came out, it was pretty much built-in obsolescence because it was limited, and they still got another. They sold, I think, 65,000 of those guns, and it lasted. Well, it lasted 10 years, at least 10 years, but more like 23 years. Because once the 1886 came out, then that gun was pretty much, the demand for it dwindled, but the price went down. So it was still attractive for some people, budget-minded folks like me and Rob, to go buy one.
Oh no. Yeah, I was under the impression they were pushing for some type of something to do with shooting sports that eventually didn't take off. So I thought that was the reason for 45 gap. And obviously, I think a few departments used it for a short period of time. I guess supposedly to distinguish their ammunition from others. I don't know how true that is either, but this is just stuff I've heard.
Yeah, I was talking about Winchester rifles. I very rarely talk about Glocks.
Me either. Just kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It just makes you want to throw up.
It's kind of like smelling chitlins cooking.
It's like beets. Like, sure, you can survive on it, but why?
Look, why would you waste your time with Glocks when there are beautiful things like old Smith & Wesson revolvers with that beautiful blued steel, or that stainless steel, or that nickel plated, man, and those beautiful wood grips to just pop the whole thing off.
There's that.
And you just sit there and you just drool, and as you're looking at them going, what a piece of machinery.
For the record, I've stated it before, but in case we got new people out there, I don't hate Glock. I just think they're ugly. You know, think like anything. You know, you had the Model A and Model T, and you know, there's other more just as good, if not better. Well, I will say it in some cases better. You know, there's other things out there now. You know. To me, I've owned a Glock in the past, 40 caliber too, which is, you know, oh my God, I know. But, you know, the thing ran fine, could shoot it fine, no problem. But, you know, eventually it's like, you know, it's like you're hanging out with the last chick at the bar, you know. It's really not something to brag about.
Dude, that is like you put the beer goggles on and went, oh, I'm going to take you home with me. That's what that is.
And then
dude.
people will say, well, you know,
goggles.
she got it done. She did get it done. But, you know, you can get a cute one that gets it done too.
That's it, man. You can get something that looks a hell of a lot better and shoots a lot better and is more accurate, the whole 9 yards.
Well, you was mentioning the classic Smith & Wesson revolvers. I'm just not going to take one of those and throw them in my truck and go wherever I'm going, you know. Now, I take a Glock 19, throw it in the truck, go wherever. If it gets scarred up, scratched up, I'm not going to have shit hemorrhage over it. But, yeah, something like a beautiful Smith & Wesson revolver, No, I'm not going to just throw that in the truck. That'll be on my side, or I'll be taking care of that with kid gloves.
Oh no, dude, no, it's I've shot every one I own minus a few that I just picked up, and I don't know if they'll get shot because they've never been shot before, so I don't know if I really want to even put a round through them. I kind of want to, but at the same time, I don't want to take away from that. But I would never hesitate to carry a Smith & Wesson. Never. And y'all know I carry during the wintertime. I usually will carry my 44 Magnum in the shoulder rig, and at all times, usually I have a Model 60 on me, and then I get no problem carrying any of the other ones either. 28, 19, it's like not 19, the 29. I'll carry them all. I don't care. To me, it's a tool, man, and that's all there is to it. And why not have a much more beautiful tool that shoots a lot better and you can look at it, smile, and be happy with it versus a plastic fantastic that shoots like dog shit.
Oh, remember, Scotsman, I texted you about a Model 19-4 here the other week?
Yes, sir. Did you go back?
No, he's wanting 850 for it. He was wanting 800 when I was in there the first time, and he went up $50. I was like, no, if you're gonna be like that, keep it.
Yeah, it was. I gotta pull that back up again. Yeah, you had it. You said it was 625.
625.
I told you, depending on the shape of it. Depending on the shape of it, it'd be in it. If it's in fair condition, it'd be in the 500 range. If it's in decent shape, then he's kind of right there. But
okay, that was 19.4, right? 625.
Yeah.
Okay, the one 800, and then he went to 850. That was 19.2.
Oh.
I don't think I texted you about that one.
No, I didn't get anything on that one.
But the 19.4, that's 625. The grip on it.
What's the shape of it like?
I'd say the finish on it probably about 70%.
70.
Yeah.
I'd probably be in that 575 range. 550, 575.
Yeah, he was wanting 8 for it, and I went back down there. He went up $50. Said I ain't gonna fool with it.
But that 19.2, depending on how much the condition other than 19.2, I mean, he's in the ballpark for it, but you can start playing games and start adding more to it. It's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I might have worked with him if he hadn't just come out and said 850. Now, if somebody tells me a price, I expect them to, stay right there where they said.
Yeah, you get a market price, you put it out there. That's it. Don't be playing games like that. That's not cool.
I ran up on a Ruger Blackhawk in 357 Magnum. I think it was a 5.5-inch barrel. It was beat half to the devil and back. It looked like it come out of the back of a pickup truck driving down the road, really. And they had 6 beans on that one. I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah, you got to watch some of these places too, man. Some of the people that are appraising stuff, they really either don't know or they're just going to try and take advantage of you. So whenever you go to trade something, either go get a separate appraisal so you have a good understanding of what you have in your hands and understand that, yeah, they're going to take X amount off because they still got to make some kind of profit. But it's better to have an understanding of what you got before you walk in, because you go into some of these places. I'll tell you, dude, I've had people lowball the hell out of me before on something. And it's like, dude, you don't have any idea what's sitting in front of you. And if you do, you're lowballing the shit out of me. And I'll get up and walk away. I'm not gonna sit there and take that from anybody. You got to know what you have. You know,
I think rule of thumb, if you try to trade in or anything like that with a gun shop or whatever, they're not going to give you what you feel it's worth usually. So, because they're always going to try to mark up and, you know, add another $100 on and throw it to the case. You know,
right. In general, on the used market, in general, most places will look to make 10 to 15%.
and I've seen worse in my area, but
there's definitely worse out there. I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, the best way is to sell it to somebody personal, you know, that understands, appreciates it. They realize they're saving some money off getting something new, but you don't feel like you're getting robbed. Both parties are happy, you know, usually in situations when it's legally possible. I understand the laws and all that.
That's same with guns, motorcycles, cars, whatever. You're going to be a whole lot better off if you sell what you have and then take that money and apply it toward the purchase of what you want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially with guns and cars, because motorcycles, especially if you can. You sell your bike for about halfway between the full-on retail and the trade-in value, and you'll see there's a wide difference there. So start your price about middle way and show the people that's buying it what the prices are looking like, and they'll realize real quick that you're saving them a bunch of money as opposed to them going to a dealer to buy one.
Right. And I'll throw it out there again. You know, I've let you guys know before, but if you guys are out there and you're looking to get an appraisal, whatever, just shoot me an email, shoot me a text. You know, garage guy sends me texts all the time. Jamie sends me texts and asks me, hey, I'm looking at this gun. What do you think? I love doing that stuff. So send them to me. I don't mind whatsoever helping people out.
Disclaimer: he's going to tell you any Glock's worth $250 because that's what
I'm
the
going
old
to tell you a Glock ain't worth a fucking shit. That's what I'm going to tell you. Full disclaimer: Glock ain't worth shit. Take it outside, throw it away.
Yeah, don't text him that or he'll just block you.
Go buy a real man's gun. Then come back and talk to me.
Now, what if you came across like a Gen 1 in a Tupperware box and
throw it away.
It was dirt cheap? You wouldn't pick it up?
Dude, you know what? If I came across a Gen 1 and it was dirt cheap, I'd buy it just to test the shit out of it and piss people off.
See, you would buy it, though, because you'd know there was something there.
Just to piss people off. Just to piss people off, because I would take that little plastic box that everyone loves, you know, because it came in and all the rest of it, and I'd fucking destroy the living shit out of it.
Man, you'd be destroying some money, because those Gen 1s are worth some money now.
They ain't worth squat. They're fucking shit. It's still just a Glock, dude.
My 42 was a Gen 2.
People that collect Glocks, do they also collect tennis shoes? I've never understood that hobby.
They probably collect Crocs or whatever the hell they're called.
Well, we know they collect sights.
You know that's for sure.
And triggers.
The aftermarket game on that is so ridiculous. Yeah,
Loctite,
Ozzy
ABWeld.
knows. Ozzy asked me about a 75. He went out bought himself a 75 PO1. He loves it.
I got to get out and do an update video on my Omega.
Fantastic guns, man.
It is, really is.
And if you guys need a holster, talk to Ozzy. Ozzy makes nice holsters, man. Really nice holsters.
I'll second that.
I got an ad from Craft Holsters, an email today, and they were having a 30% off sale. So I clicked on to go look for one for my CZ75, and dang, man, that ain't no sale. They jacked up all the prices $30. There wasn't any of them in there that were not $100 or more, except for the two that you don't want, the suede one and the nylon.
So they've changed their marketing team too, because Al's no longer there. So I used to talk to Al all the time, and Al would send me stuff to look at and review. And like you wanted something, Jamie, I would talk to him. He'd send it right to you for you to look at it and review it, and it wouldn't cost you a dime. But they got some other lady in there now, and I haven't talked to her a whole lot, but she is not anything like he was whatsoever. She's totally different attitude, and you can get that in the email. The attitude's there. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe I should talk to Ozzy about making me a holster for a 75 BD.
Yeah. He'll make you something nice, man. Now here's the thing with Ozzy. You gotta watch him though, because he's a sly little bastard. He wouldn't take any money from me, which I'm still not happy about, because I know the time and effort put in.
Well, I'm sure he'll take money from me. Anyway, I got one over there, but it's like just a loop of leather, the barrel sticking out. Let me see if I can find that before we have to get off here. Hold on a second. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It's just a solid loop of leather with double stitched, and just slides in there.
Yeah.
It works well for a lot of different guns, but it's not a very secure hold.
Yeah, if he can make a nice shoulder rig for a CZ Shadow 2 compact, I might be very well interested. Man, I'm been struggling on finding a good, and for some reason the interwebs constantly direct me right back to Craft Holsters. I know they make them.
The one thing you got to bear in mind is it has to be available on the blue gun so that he can make the mold for it. So if it's not available on the blue gun, then he's probably not going to be able to do it.
For all the things you
Bama Dad, you're about to lose a wrench.
So that's a good name, Brian.
Hang on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
And I reckon you can run it that way so that the gun's like this.
Right.
Or you
got some options on there.
Run your belt through there, or you can run it through that. So there's multiple ways you can use it. And it's very thick, very durable. I just don't like that much of the gun sticking out.
Sticking out, yeah. Yep. Ozzy says he doesn't have a blue gun for that one, Jamie. So we'll have to see what we can do.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's an Ozzy holster right there. Got his little mark on the back. Got to say, one of my nicest holsters, man.
Yep.
I take care of this thing. Don't use it all the time because it's nice. So I use it for occasions and whatnot.
Yeah, man, it
Pretty
makes
nuts,
really nice
man.
stuff, man.
Yeah, thick. I mean, it's sturdy. Nice.
Yeah, that's a good looking holster.
Doesn't sag. Yeah, it's a great job, man. Still loving it.
Yep. Yep. Good work, dude.
Very nice.
All right, we'll start going through the room. Garage guy, what you got coming up, brother? I think you're muted, man.
There we go. I need to get out here and get a bunch of videos done. I'm way behind. I've been trying to get out and do some videos on the budget rifle Chamberton 22 LR. It's practically a Wally World gun. It's that Savage 64. I'd like to do a series of videos on what people would consider beater guns. You know, they work all right, but if you scratch them up or ding them up or whatever, it's not going to hurt your feelings any, you know. And more people can afford budget than they can the high dollar stuff, you know. And I figure that's a good way to go. I'd like to start doing a series on firearms, you know, in that category. Beater guns.
Yep. Nice, man. Always appreciate you being here when you can be here, man. Always good to have you.
Thank you.
Rob, what you got going on, man?
Not much. Hopefully I'll survive the dentist. And yeah, I just want everybody to know if for some reason I don't make it, it's probably Bald's fault. So just put that out there now. Yep, that's option 2 right there. But no, other than that, wish me luck. Obviously, everybody hopefully have a great Easter. You know, or did have a good Easter, whatnot. And have a good week. Eat a salad. You know, keep kicking ass. Don't take any shit. And we'll see you next week.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I appreciate you. And I'm not kidding, man. Whiskey and a pair of pliers will fix that real quick. Just man up and get it done.
Yeah, it might be a thing. Might be a thing.
Jamie, what you got going on, brother?
First of all, good luck at the dentist, Rob. I know you're a little anxious about that.
Thank you.
I've been working on video well, obviously I haven't been working on it. I've had one started since you and I went to the range that day, but hopefully I'll get that finished this week, get it up. And as always, Friday nights at 8:00 on 8:00 Eastern on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel. Check us out. We'll be there talking about some kind of lever action rifle, unless they want to talk about something else. And it was a great Easter. I want to thank y'all for having me, and I appreciate hanging out with y'all guys on Sunday nights. Thank you.
Always appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. I'm not sure if I'll get anything out this week. I had one video I wanted to get done a while back and didn't quite get there, but I'm on 10 hours again this week, so I'm not sure if I'll get it out. We'll try. But I do appreciate everyone out in the side chat coming in and hanging out with us. And with that being said, Allen, will you please take us out right, brother?
$10 hours in a week. That just leaves you entirely too much time. Entirely too much time. I've been working on a video and planned on getting it uploaded. The title of the video is "How to Not Upload to YouTube." It is an instructional video, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out my channel because you'll see exactly how to not do that. Other than that, my therapist thinks that I have this major compulsion with revenge, and let me tell you, she'll find out sooner or later. Other than that, I want you to keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!